Welcome back. I'm Felix, and I am reacting to Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband and stepdaughter stranded on Christmas when I found out he gave her my big Christmas gift? This is comfort level podcast. I actually reacted to one or two on this video before, so I'm reacting to another one. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's see what's going on with this one.
Asshole for leaving my husband and stepdaughter stranded on Christmas when I found out he gave her my big Christmas gift.
No.
My husband, 41 male, is the worst at gift giving. We have been together for over 3 years, and after the first year of not receiving anything for my birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's, and Mother's Day, which was the last straw, after being told I wasn't his mother, I decided to start matching energy. Father's Day came and I was gone all day when normally I would have put together a big lunch or dinner and drive 30 to 45 minutes to go get his daughter, a now 16-year-old, so they could spend the day together. He called me in the afternoon and I was polite, but not initiating conversation. He asked me when I was picking up his daughter and I replied I had plans and I wasn't aware that I was supposed to pick her up since nothing was communicated to me. And when he responded with, "It's Father's Day," I used his response back of, "You're not my father." I had anticipated him getting upset and knew a constructive conversation would not be had. So when he started to raise his voice, I told him to check the table and hung up. I had left a letter to him communicating how much I was hurt about going out of my way for him and not having any sort of reciprocation. He called me later and said he would try and be better and work on it. I ended up going to get his daughter during the week so they could enjoy a dinner together. Background information, he drives big rig trucks, so the vehicle we use for everyday travel is mine. He's been better about the gifts. It's more of a go pick something out and I'll pay for it, which I really don't mind. He does the same thing with his daughter. I do all the shopping for his family gifts when it comes to birthdays and holidays. Cut to a week before Christmas and I wake up to my favorite coffee drink, my husband taking me out to eat for breakfast, followed by a trip to the mall to pick out my Christmas gift. I rarely splurge on myself when it comes to...
The way this guy acts, he sounds like he's just used to getting his way. I feel like the signs would have been there in the beginning. Guys like that don't generally hide who they really are. They've been married 3 years. Unless they dated for like 2 weeks, I'm pretty confident he probably showed his true self even before they got married.
Purses and clothes. I have a preteen son from my first marriage, so I tend to be more practical on myself and spend on him for his birthday and Christmas. My stepdaughter, however, is very materialistic and is always asking for money or something expensive, and between her father and his family and her mother and her family and her stepfather, she always gets it. I've been repeatedly saying out loud that I needed a new purse since mine was hanging on by a thread and had decided to invest in a good designer handbag. I started saving money and looking online for my new dream purse. So imagine my surprise and excitement when we get to the department store and I see they have my dream purse in stock. My husband sort of gave a look when he saw the price, and I told him I could contribute and explained how I had been saving so I could save enough to get this purse, and that I had been dreaming about it for months. He shook his head and said I deserved it and he would get it for me, but also gave me the expectation that since he was getting me this, that he couldn't really afford to get me anything else. I screamed with delight and told him that was okay and I didn't need anything else. With that taken care of, my husband asked,
She have paid for it? Is that what I'm getting? I think I kind of misunderstood that part, but yeah, already not the a-hole.
Okay to go get his daughter and take her Christmas shopping. I had tons to do at home in preparation for the holiday, so that worked out, so I could have the house empty to get done what I needed. I was reaching to get my purse when we arrived home and he said for me to leave it because he had another gift he had previously purchased for me that he was going to put inside the purse for me to open on Christmas. I was on cloud 9, so I kissed him and left my bag and went inside. I was still busy cleaning and decorating when he got home later that night, and the rest of the days before Christmas were all a blur with me trying to get the house ready for the holiday. I hosted Christmas Eve at my house with my family, and Christmas Day I slept in, tired from the night before, and woke up with enough time to brush my teeth before we headed out to get his daughter and then drive to spend the rest of the day at his mother's house. I fell asleep on the drive and woke up after his daughter was picked up and we were already en route to his mom's house. I turned around to greet his daughter, and that's when I saw her rummaging and holding my new purse. "Where did you get that purse?" I asked her, and the car fell completely silent. I looked at my husband, and he stayed silent with both hands on the wheel looking straight ahead. I asked her again, this time louder with a more stern tone, and she looked down and quietly mumbled, "My dad gave it to me." "You what?" I screamed. "How would you think this is okay to give her my new purse?" He told me to calm down, and I cut him off and I screamed, "No," and then turned back to his daughter and told her that her father had no right to give her my purse and that she needed to give it back to me, which she refused. I could feel my anger raging inside, then subsiding to a feeling of sadness and complete defeat. I put my coat over my head and leaned against the window, trying to cover my face and mouth as tears started running down my cheeks. Pulled over at the next gas station, and his daughter bolted out, taking the purse with her. He tried to comfort me, to which I slapped his hand away and I told him to not touch me and gave him a look of disgust. He informed me that after he dropped me off that day, he picked up his daughter, took her shopping, and on the way of taking her home, she noticed the bag and saw the purse. She begged and pleaded with him to please let her have it. She reminded him about all the times he never got her a gift and how giving her this purse would make up for it. And that played on his heart, and he finally caved and gave her my purse. He tried to say he was going to make it up to me.
No. That's what I said. I don't believe he hasn't done this before. I feel like he's done this before probably lots of times, and she just looked the other way.
And I asked him how, knowing it was impossible. He already spent his money and made it clear that he wasn't going to have money to buy me anything else. I couldn't help but get upset as I tried to get him to understand how hurt I felt and how it's not like she was suffering with getting to open presents from her mother and stepfather plus gifts from their family along with the gifts that she was going to get from his family, and that he already spent money on her for Christmas presents, and that was my one gift. I know Christmas is not about getting presents, but I was extremely upset that my husband could be so thoughtless and not consider the amount of pain that this was going to cause me.
You know how dense and how selfish and how nasty you have to be to do something like that?
His phone rang and his daughter was calling from the inside, asking him to come inside because she needed money to buy something. As he was walking into the store, I looked back and tears began to fill my eyes as I saw all the gifts that I had picked out for his family with care. Something came over me and I stopped crying and got out and got in the driver's seat and wiped my face and peeled out of the gas station parking lot, leaving my husband and stepdaughter behind. I turned my phone off and I drove back to town, and I spent the day with my family at my cousin's house and stayed with them, not returning any of my husband's phone calls and not returning home until late the following day. The only phone call I did return was the one from my stepdaughter's mother to set her straight after she left me a hateful message about leaving her daughter stranded because I was jealous her father bought her a new purse. I told her she had been told a lie, and I informed her of the truth, that in fact her father did not buy her a new purse. He bought me a new purse, and she played on her father's emotions after he already bought her expensive items for her Christmas list to guilt him into giving her my purse. She apologized and tried to come up with a solution, to which I replied for her not to bother. The damage has been done. I found out through my sister-in-law that my husband's brother went to go get them, and the story came out later that evening. His mother is on his side, while his brother and sister-in-law and other aunts and uncles sided with me and got onto his daughter. I have not spoken to his daughter since Christmas, and
she would be banned from my house. I'm sorry, she'd be banned. She'd be like, no, she can't come over no more. I'd be too worried she'd try to steal something.
Things are unsettling at the house. I have become more distant from my husband, and when I make dinner, I don't serve him a plate. I serve only my son and myself, and I only engage in conversation with my son. He's tried to reach for me at night when we're in bed, and I always end up crying. I'm not angry or mad. I just feel nothingness. He came back on the road, and I do miss him, but I can't shake the feeling of how he let me down, and I cannot hide my looks of disappointment, looking to see what others have to say about this situation.
It's time to call it quits. that marriage is over. Yeah, it's time to call it quits. Oh, there's a lot of responses. I probably won't listen. I probably won't post all the responses, but my response is it's over. The marriage is over. 3 years of that, and no. I don't know if I would have made it 3 years. And like I said, I don't believe he hasn't done this before, like before they got married, and she just overlooked it. People do that stuff. They'll overlook and overlook and overlook things will change once they get married. This guy did not change. I guarantee you he's always been this way. And that's probably why he's divorced in the first place.
That was a story.
That's a hot one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because originally hearing through the story, it was a long story. I'm like, oh, this is just a tale of problematic relationships between blended families and like jealousy of this kid is that
Spoiled
person's
kid.
and this kid is that person's. But it really just boils down to me, the husband, who has this person who
Goes above and
who's
beyond.
willing to accept, like, frankly, I think lazy way of giving gifts. I think it's lazy. I don't think everyone's a good gift giver, but I think people should still try or do something or whatever. That's their own thing. But OP's agreeing to this way of giving gifts of I pick my thing and I just pay for it. So it's so easy to do. It's incredibly easy to do that. I literally just buy this thing. You're with me. I'm buying this thing, and all I have to do is give it to you. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that. I can see how you'd be so defeated. Because it's not like you got a disappointing gift from a partner that you didn't have any
She
part
got
in.
what
Like,
she
you just
wanted.
know this is how the system goes, and this basic system failed. That shows that you don't even care about anything. Like, your daughter can override even this little thing that you were supposed to do for me. And how does that show, like, do I feel important to you at all in this? Or is your daughter always going to come first in every single thing? Even my own Christmas gift, she gets that.
Yeah.
Because they were coming back from getting the daughter's gift. This wasn't before. So the daughter got her gifts. They already went through their system. They're coming back to the house. And she's like, oh, can I have the purse too?
Yeah.
I get the feeling that this sucks.
I mean, that purse. It's crazy too because, like, thinking about it, big picture, it seems like the relationship had way more deeper issues. It seems like she had the love language of gift giving or gift getting, like that's what one of her love languages was, and he just wasn't attending to
Doing
that
it.
at all. And so when she finally finds a compromise, like, I do like getting gifts, it does make me feel loved in a certain sense. He doesn't even do that, but then they can finally work out an agreement to where she's still getting gifts and he can still have the laziness of it, I guess. He doesn't have to think about it, just,
Low effort.
Yeah, no effort.
Low effort.
Oh, low effort, no effort.
Yeah.
But just, here's the money, go get it, instead of like taking the time to buy
And he still screwed it up.
it and wrap it. And then, yeah. But
Still screwed it up.
it sucks that that's like the breaking point of all of it, because the bigger issue was that he didn't
Care.
tend to her love languages. He wasn't attentive. Man.
Now, he straight up didn't care. He really didn't care. Oh, she'll get over it. Oh, she'll get over it. I guarantee you that's what he was thinking. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. She's not going anywhere. He's wrong.
You guys are saying, like, this isn't the first time it's happened. This was a solution to a problem that was already addressed. And so it's not like, even this is such a big thing where it's so neglectful of, this is the one thing that I wanted, and you give it to somebody else who I see all the time, who already has a ton of gifts. So even that of just seeing somebody communicate to you overwhelmingly, like, you don't have to give me anything else. This is how much I want this one thing.
Yeah.
And then you carelessly give it to somebody else. But because even that happening one time, I think that would be like a really big issue, kind of hard to come back from. But the fact of a whole year of holidays going by and her probably doing a lot for her partner, and then him not doing anything, and him only realizing or starting to realize a little bit when she gives him back a taste of his own medicine, and that's when he gets upset and she has to leave, and she's like, I already anticipated this. Read that letter. Go ahead and read that letter for me. Yeah, it's frustrating. I don't think she's the asshole for leaving.
Honestly, I think if she had stayed, she may have done something even more drastic, like maybe punched the girl. Because clearly, from that conversation about the purse and everything, it sounded like that girl knew that purse belonged to her. And she took it anyways. The girl has been raised to be selfish, and she knows she can manipulate her dad.
Because I could see why she did that of, you paid for this, but this is all my work of buying all these Christmas presents for your family.
Right.
You don't even care enough about your own family to get them stuff. I'm doing this for them,
Right.
That's
for
wild.
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually they can have it, but I'm out of here. This is my car.
I wouldn't give them the gifts, actually. I would have took all the gifts and gave it to my family, to be honest with you. Like, I picked out all these gifts, I'm giving them to my family later.
I'm going. This is frustrating. You have enough money to buy all this stuff. You can get somebody else to come pick you up.
Right.
Thankfully, it's not like they were completely stranded somewhere else. They could be in a warm building for a period of time until they could get help.
Yeah.
They were probably like 25 minutes to whatever away from somebody else. So thankfully they were able to get picked up. But I think at that point it was so upsetting for OP that I think it was.
Yeah, I think if she hadn't left, she definitely probably would have done something else. And like she said, I think it said the brother-in-law came and got him. But yeah, it was probably best that she did leave.
Good that she separated herself from the situation.
The only thing is, because you can look at the daughter and like, oh, the daughter's selfish, blah blah blah. She's even the one who asked for the purse. But to me, at the end of the day, she's still a child.
No, she's 16. She knew what she was doing. I hate when people do that. At 16, you know what you're doing. People forget at 16 you weren't that stupid. They're not adults, yes, but she knew what she was doing. She knew she could manipulate her father, and she knew her father would give her the purse. And so, yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing.
So it's the dad who really is at fault in all situations. So leaving the daughter there, I'm still with the mom where I'm like, you left my kid at this place? I'm getting pissed too. Even though I guess the mom did kind of understand what was happening. I'm like, I don't think I would have left the daughter, even though it doesn't seem like OP.
The daughter was with the dad. I don't have a problem with that. The daughter was with the dad. It'd be different if she left the daughter by herself. She wasn't by herself. She was with the dad.
Knew her that well.
Yeah, or really is a fan of the daughter. Just the language he talks about the daughter. It's
Yeah.
like, he's not really a fan of this kid. So I'm like, some of that can play into like how your actions, because I'm like, I would have left the husband 100%, but I don't know if I'm leaving the 16-year-old.
If she would have took the 16-year-old, that 16-year-old would have disappeared.
Yeah. Well,
She's 16. I don't know.
Yeah.
16. But what would you do for the 16-year-old? Because like I get what you're saying too, but at the same time, there's certain actions that have to be corrected. Like it's a little bit of manipulation what you just did.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But this is like clocking the issues that happen in blended families where obviously OP doesn't feel like she has the right to interject with how she feels she's being parented, because she's like, yeah, she's materialistic. She gets all the things she wants. She doesn't. I don't know if she's able to voice this to the dad or voice this in the family, or are they like, some blended families, they're like, we are parents. Like, I am also their dad. They have a dad. I'm also their dad, and I can have input. And some are like, no, that's my kid, and that's my kid. This is my son. That's your daughter. We don't mix. We might live in the same house, but we don't mix. And I think that's unfortunate. And it's hard to interject. I don't know what OP, it doesn't seem like they have a good relation where she's actually parenting the daughter. So I'm like, I would bring them back, but I'm like, I'm pissed at you.
Yeah.
I'm mad at you.
Honestly, I mean, I know people might disagree, but I think the fact that she was there with her dad, I don't think it was wrong for OP to leave the daughter too, because the main reason why she was upset was at the two of them. So I'm not going to bring you back in here with the gift that I'm going to look at as I'm taking you to where you need
Yeah.
to be. No. You're with your father. You're okay. You're going to be fine.
But
You guys can get help.
that's the only reason why I'm pissed. I'm not pissed at OP. I'm pissed at the dad specifically is because the 16-year-old is going to do what she's going to do. Of course, if she's materialistic and she wants things, she's going to ask for the purse. You spineless dude can't say no to your daughter for a gift that you already had allocated to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's that whole manipulation thing.
Even
'Cause
manipulation. Kids are constantly trying to manipulate.
But
Parents are just supposed to be like, "Hope you got me."
She said something that probably kind of got him.
Yeah, that's on
because
him now.
I know it's on him, but it's like,
The guy in a t-shirt, can't remember his name. I think he's half right. She definitely should not have taken the daughter in the car. She made the right call not putting that daughter in the car. 'Cause like I said, that daughter would have disappeared if she got in that car. So in that aspect, he's 100% wrong. As for it being the dad's fault, yeah, the dad's weak. The dad probably feels guilty for not being there all the time for the daughter. The daughter knows this and manipulates. They're both at fault and both need to have both needed consequences to happen to them, which did. I think he is missing a little bit of the point there, that girl did not need to be in that car anymore with that woman, because that woman knew she needed to get out of there, and if she had let that little girl get in that car, that little girl would have been missing. I guarantee she would have turned up missing. Whether she meant to do it or not, she would have turned up missing, and that woman made the best decision for her and everyone involved.
she said something that got to him.
Obviously.
And it was the whole, because she was like, well, this will make up for all the times.
Which is a
What is
crazy
he,
thing to say.
I wonder what he's, like, if it was a financial thing as to why he wasn't, like, buying gifts or being there. Or...
Well, the way, if we're to hear what the 16-year-old said, I think it was when she was younger, he probably wasn't able to buy her everything, because now it seems like he's willy-nilly with, yeah, here, take this. This is my token of appreciation for you. Here's a gift. Here's money. Here's money. Here's money.
Not talking from not a parent, but talking as not a parent, I would be like, your gift is you're 16 years old and you're alive right now. I don't owe you gifts. I don't think kids owe you. I think it's good that kids get gifts. I'm like, I liked getting gifts as kids, but I wasn't owed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you start expecting gifts,
Yes.
that's when I'm probably not going to give you that many
You're
gifts.
here.
But I think just the
You need to
way
have
he-
appreciation for gifts.
The way he gave off the bag, I don't think he's that type of parent.
He's not.
He's not a parent. Actually, he's not even close to being a parent. He's a spineless coward.
So, like, you're like in a perfect world, yes.
But for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
then I don't know if I want you like as a father figure, and like this is like a relationship thing where I'm like, are you good for my son?
Yeah.
I think I get what you're both saying. Like, I feel like you guys are both agreeing on it, but it's just a matter of, yes, I can feel bad for the dad of like, hey, he's a person who she dug right into that wound and he was manipulated.
Yeah.
But also it's his job at the end of the day to stand up and say, no, don't do that. But I
he
get
ain't
what
got
you're
no
saying of
backbone to
like,
do it.
yeah, like I get, I'll read top comment. Take the stress off everybody. Don't worry about it. Check out the words. Check out the words. Cause it's like a healthy thing of like, check out the words, guys.
Yeah,
you know?
that's good. Check him out.
Yeah, sometimes you got to flip the switch on them.
So top comment, the way he continually ignored you on all major events and milestones and then gave away your first actual gift that you had to choose and partially pay for, which I don't think she ended up paying for, but she offered to,
She offered to.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
is appalling. Not the asshole.
Dude,
Does
if she had paid for that?
No, that at that point,
Dude,
give
if
me
she
my
had paid
purse.
for that, oh my.
That's robbery at that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember the way it's worded. It didn't really clarify, in my opinion. But yeah, if I had spent money on it, I'm snatching that purse, that purchase. I would have snatched that so fast, it would have sent that girl's head spinning. But if the husband paid for it, that's one thing. But if I had to put money into it, no, you're giving that up.
That's actually robbery.
Does he even want a wife? He doesn't sound like he cares for you at all.
Facts.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
That top comment will do it to you.
Or
Kind of
shoot-
ended that whole conversation.
like this next story. Look at So we're all healthily looking at the
We're
board. We're
healthily, it's
all
all good,
trying
it's
to
all
transition.
fun.
It's fun.
It's
We're
for the
having
betterment
fun.
of the podcast and my anger at your skill at it.
We're like
that turned
super,
it
super
into-
like this next story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end it there. I think they're getting ready to start the next story. But I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link for the rest of the video. It's like an hour long. But yeah, that was interesting. Overall, not the a-hole. She, like I said, it didn't feel like they clarified whether she actually spent money on the purse, in my opinion. Because if I had spent money on it, I would have snatched it. And them like, y'all need to get out the car. It's like, you can either get out the car or I can make you get out the car. You got two choices. And yeah, and that marriage is over. She needs to leave that marriage. He's a horrible person. And the fact that he didn't even think twice about it. Yeah, so he's a horrible person. He needs to be alone by himself. And that's basically, I guarantee you that's probably why I got divorced the first time. I bet if she goes back and talks to the mother of the 16-year-old, you'll find out that's one of the reasons they got divorced. He doesn't care. He's selfish. He only worries about himself and his daughter. And his daughter is a spoiled brat, and she's almost an adult, and that's not going to change overnight, her spoiled brat behavior. In fact, it's going to get her in trouble. But yeah, it's just sad. But yeah, that marriage is 100% over in my opinion. But like I said, I'll leave a link for it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.